What's that, Mr. Hoot Hoot? Everybody should click the previous button and watch yesterday's vlog because I'm incredibly proud of it? Okay. Hello, I'm ThinkTankerMeeksman. This is Mr. Hoot Hoot. It's 1:27 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm making this daily vlog as a response to the following video.
And sure, I'm just like everybody else. I have the normal fears, you know, spiders, snakes, falling space debris crushing me, normal-sized people with tiny hands. So I kept brainstorming, what are the fears that affect me, that change my behavior, change who I am? And I'd have to say that one of the major fears that affects me is a fear of failure.
And because I'm going to be addressing Mike directly about the fear of failure, which I think is a fairly common fear amongst humans, I hope that this is helpful for everyone, not just Mike. But Mike, I do hope it's especially helpful for you. Mike, I just want to start out by saying these might not be the right answers, and they might honestly not be answers at all. But these are the things that your video made me think of. In no particular order. Your video made me think that oftentimes we need to give ourselves permission to suck. These daily vlogs are based on that principle. It made me think that failure and success have really sucky definitions sometimes. Somebody was crying, so I had to go pick her up. We often think that the best possible outcome is success, while every other outcome is failure. And that sucks, because if there are 10 possible outcomes of varying goodness and badness, only one of them is successful, and 90% of the time you quote-unquote fail and you feel bad about yourself, and it doesn't help anyone. It doesn't motivate you or make you want to do anything further. It's a debilitating fear. I mean, why do something if 90% of the time you're going to fail, right? Your video made me think that the important thing is to remember that we define what success is, and perhaps we should focus on the things that we can control. Instead of focusing on the best outcome, we should define success by the outcomes that are good enough. The outcomes that make us happy and content without necessarily being the best possible outcome. For example, I'd love for this video to go viral. I'd love for tons of sports racers and nerdfighteria and everyone to look at it and say, wow, that's an amazing vlog. I'd love it to spark a revolution that fills the world with love and fills people's hearts with the desire to go out and do amazing things, and I would love for that to happen. That would be the best possible scenario. But for me, I had to force myself to define success in a very simple way. I ask the one question that defines whether or not I can be content with the things that I've done. Specifically, the daily vlog. Does the video exist? It's a binary question, so it's just yes or no. And if the answer is yes, then that is good enough, and I can be happy with it. No matter what else happens, I can be happy with it. To me, that means the video is a success, and that I feel successful. Your video also made me think that your past does not define your future. That goes for YouTube, and it goes for real life as well. Your video made me think that the fear of failure brings a lot of regret with it. It made me think about the difference between our current life and the best possible life of all the lives that we could be leading. And how we could have that life if only we hadn't done this. If only, if only, if only. Sometimes the distance between our current life and the best possible life that we could potentially be leading is staggering. And I think that distance is distracting. Because it makes us upset with the present that we're living in. It makes us upset with the life we're currently living by comparing it to the best possible world. But instead of asking, is this the best of all possible worlds, perhaps we should be asking ourselves a different question. Am I happy with this life? And don't try to answer that question by comparing your happiness to that potential future possibility happiness. Ask it as a binary question and think really deeply about it. Yes or no. And if the answer is yes, you can find peace and happiness and contentment in the life that you're living, because the life that you're living is good enough. Now, I'm not making an argument for complacency. No, I'm not doing that at all. But I think if we define success as doing everything that we can, then regardless of the outcomes, we can be happy with the things that we've done. And we can realize that our life might not be perfect, and it might not be the best possible world, but it is good enough. And that helps me feel content about my life. Success isn't the outcome, it's the amount of work you put in. And if you fail, it's okay, because that's in the past. Just make sure that in the present and in all the future presents that you will be given, presents, gifts, that in all moments of the present resolve to do your absolute best, to forgive yourself your mistakes and to realize they don't define you. Because honestly, Mike, I absolutely love seeing your videos. You make me laugh consistently. When I try to be funny, it's either extremely forced or on accident, but you are funny every time. Mike, I hope that helps. I'm not even sure if I actually even answered the question. I'm not sure if any of this is helpful or if it just makes me sound obnoxious. I think it might have been an oversimplification of things, but that's what it made me think about. And I'm extremely grateful for you submitting the question because it was worth thinking about. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Do you want to sing the end screen song? End screen song! Do 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 do